I told you that I would do better.
You always say that. You're
And
lying.
I always try.
You gotta think about these kids.
What do you think I've been thinking about since I was 18 years old, huh? Never had a life where I wasn't thinking about the kids.
What the fuck? What the fuck? I mean this with all of the vigor and heart that this film was missing. What the fuck? So Hillbilly Elegy was a memoir by JD Vance, released in 2016 at an intriguing time because it was the story of how he'd grown up in a family with Appalachian, good, solid Kentucky values, but growing up in Ohio. And basically, if you're not quite sure what that means, it is what most other people would think of as, you know, like, redneck values, you know, but the film tries very hard not to use that term. It's his story, you know, his mum wasn't great as a parent, or her parents weren't great as parents either, and it kind of talks about that as well. And it's his story of rising from this kind of socio-political status where he was born in, and all the way up to getting into Yale after joining the military and all. Oh. And the film kind of flits back and forth between him as a kid and 14 years later when he's grown up, trying to go back while he's got big interviews that'll, you know, get him the summer job he needs to stay in Yale. And he has to go back because his mum's still not doing so great. Yeah. I'm gonna call this unpredictably predictable. I didn't expect it to be one of those, but when you hear that it's a poor kid who goes to Yale, you kind of expect the drug-using mother and the grandma, the chain-smoking grandma who believes in tough love, but she's very nice and kind at heart. And you expect that he goes to Yale and then all of them are like all snooty and like, oh my redneck, how quaint. And you expect that his big trouble is, oh gosh, he doesn't know which of these forks to use at a fancy dinner because he grew up poor. Ho ho ho. And it does all of that. It ticks it off like it's some sort of, you know, cheap melodrama daytime TV movie. I don't understand how this was made by Ron Howard, you know? But don't let that cloud my opinion of this too early for you. Here is my 1 minute review for Hillbilly Elegy.
You got a right to your own life.
Don't make us your excuse, JD.
Family's the only thing that means a goddamn. You'll learn it.
The memoir was about how this isn't a unique story, you know? The memoir was about how a lot of families are like this, and it's just one of thousands of cases of how people like this live, you know, and the struggles they go through. And it, you know, the movie tries to make it into some grand thing that it's not, you know, it goes the opposite way of the memoir and makes his story so unique when it's just not, you know. And all these characters, they feel cartoonish, you know. The point is that they feel real, and, you know, people like Amy Adams and Glenn Close could show that emotion without having to go mental, you know, totally crazy so far into it. But that's what they've done, you know. They've become pantomime characters as opposed to anything vaguely real. I'm giving Hillbilly Elegy 51 out of 100. I don't, you know, totally despise it. I just thought it was going to be like an Oscar-level film. I thought they were going to do something incredible with this. And I'm so stunned at how basic and commonplace and totally what I expected it to be it is. That is all for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe. I never look at the analytics that closely for the channel, but I was looking and it turns out 80% of viewers are not subscribed. So, I mean, if that went down to like 70%, then we'd be over 1,000 subscribers, and I'd like that, you know, that'd be pretty cool, so subscribe.